Alright. Let's get things started here. Put our prediction up. And go ahead and have a look at what our mission is going to entail here today. So this is going to be Operation Just Cause with El Presidente trying to escape. So let's see. I think I spelled Panamanians right. If I didn't know, well, let's go ahead and get the poll up and running as the stream officially starts. Excuse me. And we've got quite a few things to do. So I'm going to be on OFCRA side and immediately kill myself because they forgot to make spectator slots. It happens once a blue moon OFCRA. I wasn't able to cover last week because of some IRL stuff that came up, but I digress. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and go over everything here. So we've got the objectives put down, and let's go ahead and look at everything. So backstory here, things go wrong for El Dictator, and now it's time for him to get on a plane and take refuge in Cuba before the Americans can eliminate him. Fun. Otherwise, main objective here is El Dictator escapes by the hour 15 mark, or he is killed by the hour 15 mark. That is basically going to be 4 points for the objectives here. Double what appears to have any other objectives here, but I'll get that in a moment here. Oh, okay. No, I'm going to walk that back real quick because there is there's a mistype here, yet it's also put in here that if he goes to Cuba, it's 4 points. So I'm going to assume it's a mistype because it said 4 in the mission file, but we'll just have to see. But regardless, here are the objectives. Common objectives, whoever controls these 2 positions by the end of the game will win 2 points per, 2 points for the radio station, 2 points for the villa, 4 points if El Dictator gets to the red zone by the hour 15 mark, or if he's killed off by blue 4 by the hour 15 mark. So if El Dictator is not killed but not in the red zone, neither side will get the points, and then you get a survival bonus if you have at least 8 or more people alive by the end of the game. That is also worth 2 points. So we're mainly going to just see who is going to be top dog here. So we'll just have to see with the PvP, but I'll go ahead and go through the roster. When we jump in, we'll see how things go. But Ghost Wolf, how you doing, broski? Yeah, right. Normally you're not around, but to get first at least. But hope you're doing fine, man. Let me know how your IRL situation's going. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Lux Meg, how you doing? And Willie, I'm sorry for scaring you, broski. Yeah, I'm kind of taking this week off from ops, but we'll resume over the weekend. I'm gonna plan something for Saturday morning. And then next week we're just gonna go right back into it. Just cause I kind of needed this week to unstress, and, you know, I'll be spending today and tomorrow just getting back in my rhythm. Once in a while, it's good to take a break. Now, I will admit, I didn't plan the break. It kind of just happened, and I burned out, but, I mean, that's just how it goes. I'm just sipping on some coffee. That'll get me to midnight, and then I'll probably crash around then, so we still have Pog tonight. I'll fit in another stream with some mission dev because I meant to do it last night. They're waiting on 2 minutes here. That's fair. And we've got everything going. So here, I'm going to do something different this time around. I'm going to go ahead and read the roster from here. So we got Depso commanding Op4. Timec is going to be a sniper. Victor being led by Samuel with Marcus Gaden, Gonzalez, Ryder, and Kyle. NASA leading uniform with Eric Kiru, Shea, Wombat, Gazag, and Swola. Skipping all the way down, we've got Geralt leading Quebec with Durafox, Adris Sip, Settler is a very cool guy, Gregory, Bark, and Fries. We got Rigel leading Papa with Banks, Nubass, Mr. Cool, Ivnomain, Major Khan, and Mr. Dave. We got Twig Kane leading Skeeta, Zixme, and Camred in Oscar. We've got Langfelder leading November with Prosperin. I'm going to butcher these. Okay, no, that's a title in the front. So it's Herzog, Willie, Bauer, Kirstein, and Ryger. Ilbenex being El Presidente, and then we got a few reservists. So Turbo's joining as a solo player, Monkey Enjoyer, Cappy, and Corchin playing as solos, and then Whiskey being led by Wiki Cores with Skipu, Marty, Stifu, Damien, Neil, and Teko. Blue 4 has a slight number advantage of 4 additional people. Sam leading Alpha with Alexander, Sismo, Macmarine, Lolo, and Green Thumb. Pingus leading Bravo with Hoel, Aberq, Ukrainiak, and Archer. Pierce leading Charlie with Fons, T, Snajaper, Nolik, Manu Gravo, Henry, Nuzzy, and Pupper. Scrolling down more, Foxtrot has Newton leading Toxic, Panzel, Rodrigue, Diego, and Vincenzo. I think that's Vincenzo. Gotcha. Mr. White leading Gulf with Jonathan, Delta, Daedalus, Ariak, and Mancho. Hotel leading, being led by Flip for Flap with Rick Hunter, Rizbo, Minobi, Azanor, Sta, Amacheri? Amaturtad, no. Amaturchi, okay, cool. And Jack. Oddball being the HQ leader, so he's going to be Blue 4 ground command, with Killer, Watswas, and Duidson as his units under him, including snipers. And then India being led by Poggle _ with Cali, 12 Stripe, Cheeseburger, Barrows, Ezio, and Kevin, Spirit, and Kremit. Rixu and Adi being a crew chief, vehicle crew, and that is it. I just saw everyone get moved to T-FAR, so I'm going to re-OK back in, and we'll get this round covered. All right. Now, I just need to simply respawn, and that'll get me into the spectator interface here. So, PJ, F1 to get all of my little commands sorted there. Now, with this being the respawn camera, it's a little more slow on the draw, so I'll have to do a few things, because it's only like super fast and then super slow, and there isn't really a way to toggle it. This is the normal speed. This is me holding shift, and then this is me holding shift and alt. So, again, it's a little janky to work with, but we'll go with what we can. This also does mean that we'll see all of Op4's markers, since we're on the Op4 side, and we see everything that they've written in here. So Op4 clearly has marked all of their plans on things to do for this operation, which is quite nice. We've got Whiskey spawning over here. Op4, the main weapon's going to be the FNFAL. We've got plenty of motorcycles to work with over here. I'd imagine this place is all fortified, because the plane that El Presidente is going to be using is a civilian-grade MiG. So he's going to take that off. It's got no pylons. I'd assume no gun pods either, and he's just going to try to make a break for it, getting on that outside area. Victor in uniform spawn in this little cop here. They've got 2 BTR 70s from the looks of things, a BTR 40 and a T-34 MBT, a fuel truck, and then some UAZ transport cars. All right. Looking at the final Op4 spawn point, we've got, where I believe I was, some broken Mi-8s. Those won't be in play. MTLBs, 2 BMD-1s with ATGM launchers, a BRDM with the ATGM pods, the Cormets on the top. We have a BRDM, and that appears to be it. You're going to hear that my comms and hearing local comms are a little jittery with how this interface works. There's nothing I can really do about that, so we'll just have voices in and out. But we'll see how things go. Teleporting in and out also makes it a little buggy, but that's fine. We're just calibrating everything. Otherwise, first Blue 4 spawn point. These are U.S. Marine Corps, so we're going to be seeing SMAs. We're going to be seeing M16A2s or A3s. We got M60s in play. 203s for the Grenadier weaponry. We've got 2 LAV-25s. We have a GMG M113 and then some transport Humvees that can only carry 4 people per. That's interesting. Over here, we've got another position with more Blue 4. We've got a near platoon of M113s, a single Mark 19 GMG, and then we've got 2 M2s, and then we've got an M60A3 model, I believe. Main battle tank. That is quite interesting. And then Blue 4, it looks like they've got one more position, and that would be over here. It appears to be, I don't see any boats, so it's just going to be ground crews. More 50 cal Humvees. They have a tow Humvee and then a GMG Humvee. So that's 4 50 cal Humvees total. That is quite a bit. But otherwise, that is more or less the roster. I'm just scrolling out to make sure I didn't miss anything else. We can see where Op4's route's going to be. And I believe that's just basically them trying to get El Presidente out of here. Yep, because this is where the dictator spawns. So let's go ahead and listen to Blue 4's comms, mainly with their command element.
And also, with them Mark 19s, you should have HEDP, hopefully, and they are quite good at killing the BMDs and the BRDMs.
Yeah, HEDP is going to do some pretty nasty damage on penetration on the lighter targets. BMD is definitely lighter armored, so they should be able to get away with at least some disabling of the more lightly skinned vehicles.
Look like there's some extra vehicles placed compared with what's on the op dock kind of thing, so personally I'm going to take a 113 at the center.
So you just have him talking about the convoy order he's going to be doing for Blue 4. I'm going to skip down to Depso.
This is right behind.
I don't know what command that was, but I'm pretty sure that had nothing to do with the operation. Why is it every time there's a VIP, it's Ilvanek? So El Presidente, this is what he looks like. We'll get a bit of a closer shot here, but he's geared up in what looks to be an AAF parade uniform, or at least the equivalent. It might be US, actually, but either way, he's got a camoed face on. He's ready to go. That is quite funny, but I'd imagine he's just going to be driving. Ah, this idiot died. God, what a chucklehead. First death, too. That's so sad. I'd make a joke about a certain Amazon product playing a certain meme song, but then the Amazon product upstairs would play it. Great. So I think Depso's now yelling at him.
Like this, kind of between them. Well, the tank is here, so it might have, you know. And then might.
It would be funny if they made this massive convoy and then just drove right in.
It's possible that they will go directly for the airfield. I wouldn't go past that. And if that's the case...
I'm going to be honest, if I was in Blue 4's shoes, I would directly push my forces to the airfield first, because if Op 4 is going to bring all their forces around, if you just put all your forces in the airfield, you're fine. If you go hunting for anything coming through, it's better just to go on offense.
I won't object to it, but...
I think they're talking about...
If you feel confident in it, that's fine. We can still win if you die. It's gonna be difficult though, because we have to stomp them at that point.
You choose. You are the commander.
I did tell you, it's up to you.
No.
Oh, Stas the retard didn't fix his mods.
No, listen, it's up to you.
It's because he's loading Adler trenches.
No.
I think we can hear someone... So we can hear someone in the TFAR channel. So I might have to mute myself locally if I can hear people that... I think it means, how would I word this? Someone's in the TFAR channel without having TFAR on, which means everyone can hear that person. So there's not really much I can do about that other than muting myself. But if it persists, then yeah, I'll mute myself. But I know, like, in this method where I have to kill myself by taking a spectator, a reservist slot, and then getting spectator through suicide, sometimes it glitches my plugin out that filters out other dead people. I'll be curious to see how these ATGM launchers work out.
Sure, looking like.
We'll just have to see how Op4 decides to push out with all of this. But otherwise, how are you all doing?
Now, everyone...
I was just about to ask that, mister. How was your day? My day was alright. Again, just kind of spent it relaxing and doing a bunch of stuff, but, you know, time to get back on track. No one's screwed up yet. We might see a really funny rush play by Op4 trying to put El Presidente out early, but we'll just have to see. Whiskey, I'm going to be curious to see if anyone screws up the motorcycles. But yeah, the plugin's definitely breaking down from this part of the interface, which is quite funny. Ilbanek is just gunning for it. Oh my god, so El Presidente is trying to rush to the plane. What's he gonna do, like land somewhere out here and just chill on the airstrip? It's rare that we see rush plays like this, but I'm gonna be honest, there are, like, because it's so rare, sometimes it'll work. OFCRA is a very slow to maneuver type of player base, so if Ilbanek actually is able to just completely rush this area, I don't doubt he's going to be able to score an early 4 points for OPFOR here. The betting is about to close, but again, great risk versus great reward. If he's caught out of position, he's dead, and Blue 4 gets 4 points within the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game. But again, for those of you that are new, it's OFCRA, 90-minute round, 8-minute safe start, various objectives, 4 points if El Presidente either gets killed by Blue 4 or escapes to the red zone through a plane that's on the airfield, 2 points for whoever controls the villa at the end of the game, 2 points for whoever has the radio station. Control is based off of who has more people in the sector, and then 2 points if your side has at least 8 or more people alive. Blue 4 command is going to be Oddball, OPFOR is Depso. OPFOR is going to do a massive convoy to come around and try to hunker down and secure these final endgame positions, with Ilbanek rushing by, and Blue 4 just has to try to kill El Presidente and move in, but we don't see where Blue 4's markers are because there wasn't a spectator slot, so I don't know what is what. But the really interesting thing is we're about to have an LAV convoy on the left side of El Presidente, and is anyone going to notice? We got people turned out, so they should be watching the flanks, but we might actually see El Presidente get away with this, because the LAVs are not doing flank security. We do have an M60 gunner looking in that direction, but I think Ilbanek is going to be able to get away with this. And that convoy is going to continue heading south. So Ilbanek just needs to now drive through the forest, and I think he's home free. Gotta remember, these are also amphibious vehicles. They could just cross the river and then come around. That isn't a bad call, but Ilbanek, I think, realizing he might be turning a little too much. Yep. Gonna do a far right turn, get on that road, and then just cut through the forest. I think OPFOR has just scored an early 4 points. A beautiful rush play. And Blue 4's none the wiser. They've got all this stuff set up in blocking positions, but they just weren't quick enough to deploy. Because they wanted to bring the 113s out right here. They could have put an LAV out up here instead and overwatched everything. The LAVs would have been much better with their autocannons to do locking down of that position, but instead they decided to rush everything south. Here's the thing. I think if Blue 4 immediately brought the LAVs out, they could have hunkered this position down. So the fact they brought the 113s instead, they brought the tank out here. Yeah, one LAV to cover that area with a small group to overwatch if they really wanted to play it like that, and then have the rest of the forces march to the airfield to secure that spot. I feel like, based off of the fact that Blue 4 chose a 113, which is slower than the LAV, that's what kind of cost them. And now, if this was much more hilly, I'd imagine the tracked vehicle would go better, but that's crazy that we're actually going to see an early game rush and OPFOR getting a good chunk of the points on the board immediately. I guess what could have added to this was potentially maybe also having to bring a fuel truck over from OPFOR to prevent a rush with a really quick vehicle. So let's say that convoy also had to bring the fuel truck in to refuel El Presidente's aircraft. That way, they would have been forced to have a slow-moving vehicle truck to drive in, and then to prevent just one from getting destroyed, maybe 2 or 3 that they would have had to juggle. Because otherwise, just charging in with the UAZ, I mean, you see the reaction here, and Ilbanek is practically home free at this point. The only thing I could think of is maybe the LAVs could have, like, come over and overwatched this position with their autocannons, but I honestly think he's home free.
He has no fucking fuel, what the fuck? He
Oh. Oh my
We'll get
god.
some on him.
Oh, there's no fuel in it. There's no fuel in it. There's another plane down there. But yeah, so I guess he has to look for one that might work, but that's just gonna delay him. That is funny. Oh my god, he got trolled on that one, Chief. Oh. He only gets the points if he goes into the red zone. I think this was meant to be a massive game of cat and mouse. Alright, here we go. But again, we're going to have OPFOR just get away from a pure rush play. And I don't really blame OPFOR for trying that. Blue 4 had the means to secure the route itself. They just chose to instead use different assets to do it and not make it an utmost priority. I feel like a few people are going to get salty over it, and there's ways to adjust it. Like, you know, again, have OPFOR have to bring the fuel trucks with them. But overall, I feel like this was solid. And Ilbenek's just going to take off right here. There he goes. Now he's going to immediately bank left because he knows that Blue 4 are probably coming to the airfield. So he just needs to turn left and then he can go up and he'll be out in Cuba at pretty much the 8-minute mark. Technically airborne at the 7.5-minute mark too. So very good rush play by OPFOR scoring those original points. Blue 4, in all honesty, they also could have rushed the autocannons to overwatch the airfield itself, like right behind Ilbenek. Based on the distance that they did go amphibious in the water, instead of just going down here, they could have beelined it and then followed Ilbenek in and kind of locked down the runways. So I feel like both sides could have done some really good rush plays in there, but, you know, a rush only works if it catches your enemy off guard. Now, here's what I'm going to be curious about. Will these groups spot the plane? Someone has to spot this plane. Because these autocannons could still shoot it down. That's the really funny thing, is these, yeah, like, if they saw it, they could be turning and engaging that plane right now, but I genuinely think no one noticed. That's even funnier, that Blue 4 had a chance right there. And I'm not seeing any reaction to do so. So yeah, now you're just going to have OPFOR push in, and he's home free at this point. That's funny. He just has to be in the red zone by the hour 15 mark. So if I was him, I would just land on that runway and then just run into the forest and do my own thing at that point. There's plenty of other small places he could land as well, but, you know, c'est la vie at that point. Why do we have two OPFOR dismounted over here? It's red HQ, that's why. Because they're doing an amphibious crossing point. They're going to do another one here, and that's how they're getting all the way around. El Presidente gets away to Cuba. 4 points on the board for Blue 4. Blue 4 now, their only real chance to win the game is to utterly defeat OPFOR at the Villa and radio station, prevent OPFOR from getting the number bonus from the survival unit. So that means they have to kill at least all but 8 players on OPFOR's side to deny them from getting the 2-point bonus. So the final game would then be 6-4. With Blue 4 getting that survival bonus and controlling the villa and the radio station. So a bit of an uphill battle, but OPFOR, they're going to have no choice but to hold these positions too, because they don't want to, you know, not risk having those positions, because then OPFOR could still theoretically tie. It just means that the conflict is going to take a little longer. Blue 4 is probably going to hold this position and then realize that OPFOR has no intention of putting the VIP in there, which is a shame because if Blue 4 spotted that plane and were able to put 2 and 2 together, they'd know that the airfield is now moot, and they just need to rush in and take the 2 defensive zones at that point. And then they can start mobilizing all their forces up here and start moving them in instead. So a bit of a spotting failure on Blue 4 at multiple fronts, like all out of El Presidente, just somehow not being spotted at all. But that's just going to make this game that much harder for Blue 4 to win. And again, it's rare you see a rush play work like that, but this is a good example of when it comes in, it still comes in very, very well. Ilbanek, I think he's going to be flying up to here and finding a spot to land. And Blue 4 honestly has no resources to even go out and check on him. El Presidente is a master of stealth. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Alright, so since we have a second, let's go over our schedule for today. We've got OFCRA running right now. We've got POG at 8 p.m. I'm going to do a little bit of mission dev before I go to bed. Friday, we're going to have FNF. I might, big emphasis on the might, do some more mission dev streaming them. Saturday, we're going to have Killcog, the PvP event where everyone in the world tries to take on Karma Cut's community. That's going to be at 9 o'clock. And then from 3 to 5, we have our second mission for Revy's 31st Steel Legion with some masterclass work in mission file dev done by Valkyrie, aka Neko Dragon. Since we've moved that job to twice a month now. And trying to think what else. I think that's going to be it for Saturday. I'm thinking of doing something in the morning as well. I will work on that mission dev later tonight if I get around to it. And then Sunday is a toss-up, but we'll see. I just know from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I've got some IRL business to take care of Saturday. Bloodwing's parents are coming over, and I like to be a good host. But yeah, Sundays, we'll just see what's in the air. Welcome home, Goober. I saw the light from upstairs when you opened the door. I am streaming, yes. I know. So, fun fact, Bloodwing last night came downstairs with a 6x6x6 inch box, and we experimented making a container within it to drop an egg, because her work is hosting an engineer week for all the engineering people, but since she's kind of in the business and finance side, she also put herself into it, and she's beating out all the engineering people with her design. Well, her team, quote unquote. Yeah, but you were the one that made the design, and we tested it last night. Yeah, she... Gotcha. Gotcha. So basically her team is, has been beating the engineers in a few competitions, which is kind of funny. I did give her a Star Wars pun based off of eggs to also put on the outside of the box, and she put it on. It was cute. Razor's doing a Friday Daisy event. Yeah, I'll see about joining that. Again, Daisy's on the back of my mind right now, Ghost Wolf. I'm waiting for you to be ready because I want to do something different with Daisy because I need to address the stream sniping issue. Like, I would tolerate it, but now it's getting to the point where it's just dumb. So I'd rather pick everything else back up, and then we'll continue with Daisy and continue to let it have a break. But regardless, OPFOR firing some shots. Don't know what that was about. Maybe he thought he spotted something over there, or that was a misfire. Motorcycles still look fine. Monkey Enjoyer all the way over here is, I guess, just patrolling the tree line. Blue 4, yep, still making an assault on that airfield, not realizing that it's already a moot point. Assemble a stream of counter-stream snipers, yeah, right? But yeah, we'll see how things go. Well, yeah, no, I'm just happy for her because she has a lot of good things going for her right now. She's almost done with her master's. She's having a great week at work. She got a great raise and blah, blah, blah. And here I am just going like, blip. I make Arma videos. Ah, man, I got a lot of stuff I'm procrastinating on anyway, so we got to get that started. But nonetheless, we've got OPFOR mounting back up and motorcycles potentially falling back. What perplexes me, I think they're moving because Monkey might have heard the stuff over here. I'm not sure if Sam spotted the UAZ over here. I think he hears the motorcycle, though. The question is, will Blue 4 engage the motorcycle? They're not really in a position to, though. Yeah, we'll see how things go. Killing. If you have 10,000 hours in Arma, it's basically a mastery of it. Yeah. I'm scared to go look at my hour count. Sam prepping an AT-4 here. He spotted that UAZ. Not really worth the AT-4. I'd rather just let the autocannon do that. But we've got a motorcycle came around. One OPFOR guy was killed off. Another one knocked out. So that was Masalik here. And Alexander managed to get the kill. So I just heard, I think, Skifu or whoever died laughing. So that means the plugin isn't working from this side. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself there. That was, yeah, Skifu laughing. OPFOR bringing more of the motorcycle force around. We've got Alexander getting a double kill. And those are the first kills officially of the game. Not counting me having a suicide. OPFOR's brought their forces up here. You see them kind of leapfrogging up. Blue 4, meanwhile, slowly moving their convoy up as they're trying to stage to grab what they can on the airfield, not realizing OPFOR is just going to be moving things back. You see Ilbanek, he has landed down here, and he's just going to chill in a bush for the rest of the game and probably watch random stuff. Who knows? We have another motorcycle coming up. And Alexander, I think, here's the motorcycle. He's folded back into cover. Yeah, exactly, Ghost. And I'll work with your schedule. We'll find out a way to still do things on the weekend, buddy. To at least do something once a week to bring it back. Autocannon, I think, is now shooting at the fortified positions. Ah, it's because they see the AT launcher up there, so they're trying to disable it. But unfortunately, there's just no OPFOR around. Monkey Enjoyer, meanwhile, he's over here. He could be a true Chad and go up and remove all the wheels from the LAV. Damien, meanwhile, has folded in on this position. Unsure if he's alone. If he's with this motorcycle, it means he did have a battle buddy, but it looks like he was just killed off by Alexander for his third kill. Damien now looking in that direction, trying to figure out what happened, but being prone and wiggling around like this makes you a little bit of a sitting duck. But Alexander, he's alone. He doesn't want to capitalize on that just yet. He could have Seismo come in and try to assist. Honestly, I don't get why OPFOR is just trying to, like, hightail it away and, you know, go to their final objectives here. You got Green Thumb folding into the vehicle. Can't get eyes on Monkey Enjoyer. Monkey Enjoyer is going to get a great eye on Green Thumb. Green Thumb does not have the angle. Monkey Enjoyer also opts to run in that direction. Green Thumb looking off to his right in the open. Monkey Enjoyer gonna literally cross right in front. Green Thumb looks left, and I think just spotted Monkey Enjoyer. That's an enemy, Green Thumb. Yeah, he realized it. He's gonna call that up. Now he's gonna follow Monkey Enjoyer, but he might not go too deep. Then again, he does hear a vehicle. GL him. Oh, he doesn't have a GL. I thought I saw a 203 under his gun, but looks like he just fired a few more shots and got the kill. So Blue 4 definitely beating things out in the early skirmishes, but where Dream doesn't cover OFCRA with me. I've always done that solo. But now you got Damien kind of looking around. He spotted Alexander. Might get a headshot here. And he does. It was only a knockout, though. Pardon the janky camera work. It's a different system when you have to respawn rather than get in a spectator slot. He's only unconned, though. Seismo takes fire. Starts coming around with that 249. He has no idea where he's being engaged from, but Damien still pushing up. That smoke grenade is going to alert Damien to the rough area where Seismo is. As Blue 4 is now advancing on the airfield. Alexander somehow wakes back up. Seismo running in the open, immediately tries to turn away. Damien can't line up the shot. Alexander now returning blind fire and gets his 4th kill of the evening. I feel Damien got a little cheated with that. Those shots should have taken Alexander out, because we're not really dealing with body armor, yet I see some body armor on the Op4. And Blue 4, yeah, they've also got the PAGST vests, but as far as I'm concerned, they're not really... In the game, they've got some body armor, but I feel like they should have been dead to rights. Alright, so we got some Op4 on the outskirts slowly moving in. This appears to be a 3-man team. More fouls. Got Op4 with motorcycles coming around down here. Main convoy on the southern side. They've got one more crossing to do. And I assume they're just going to fortify this position. But I believe the motorcycle crew was Whiskey. Yeah, there's supposed to be a forward element right here. And now that's going to be creating an open line. So I assume the defenses are going to be remade later. Blue 4 otherwise pushing into this position. I wonder if they know all the air assets on the field, so when they see this one missing, they'll probably put, or hopefully be able to put 2 and 2 together. But the fact they're not taking any resistance here... should spell something at least, right? Really? We just had the tank fire. At what? I honestly have no idea. Because there's nothing down here for them to fire at. Maybe they're just firing at the building garrisons, thinking that if they're fortified, they probably have people on it, right? Because there's no other reason to engage it. You would think. Maybe they see that Dishka? Yeah, it looks like their shots are trying to hit... Okay. Yeah, alright, let's put 2 and 2 together. There's an open Hainer and an empty UAZ next to it. What does that mean? What do you think that means, Blue 4? There's no one in the airstrip. There's an empty UAZ next to an empty hangar. What does that mean? Let's see if Blue 4 can put 2 and 2 together to get 5. Meanwhile, I'm a little worried because Op 4, we've got these forces waiting in the background. I think these are meant to be a counterattack force once Blue 4 actually begins to push around on that area. Blue 4 otherwise still lagging behind some of their forces on the southern convoy, but they should be able to set up a solid defensive line within the next 10 minutes. And I think by those 10 minutes, Blue 4 should be able to reconvene their force and push in. And we'll see how things go. Dwarves, yes, but I always was going to do stuff with them. So the update, I do have to look at for Sav's secret weapons, but we'll see. There was always planned to do more World War II style AA defense and whatnot, but again, I've been lazy. It is funny how they did call the LAVs doing a crossing on this position. So I guess they're blowing up the planes on principle. But the fact that they're blowing up the planes either shows me that there's a command failure right here, that they don't realize that he's probably already gone with that empty one. So, I don't know. So they're gonna det that one too. Alright. I wonder if they could pick this up and use it with them, but then again, it did take fire, and you can see that it took a lot of fire, actually. I'd be surprised if it was still usable. Please recognize. I die as side leader, that's funny. Positions green only apply if objectives aren't under attack when the convoy arrives, so I'd assume the rest of the convoy is going to be arriving soon, and then you're going to see other places start to form up here. So they're just going to basically make a giant defensive line in this area and then keep an open gap for Overwatch elements to do and then have this force block things in. So eventually we're going to be seeing the rest of Op 4 kind of fold in here. Why go all the way around? Well, you see, this is a much better option than we do. Make it possible or even easy to block off any direction around the airfield by going all the way around. We keep ourselves safer, and if we get ambushed, there's way less open fields, pointing us on a somewhat level field. Blame the game, not the player. That's fair. But again, this is now just a race to see how long it takes for Blue 4 to realize that they're 4 points down, and they need to now regroup and start trying to push these final 2 areas. This is definitely going to be a long match to time, so we'll see how things go. But here's another thing. On the map, even though it said in the mission file that it was 4 points, and on the board it's saying 1 point, now it says, like, I'm getting reconfirmation that it's 1 point that he's in the red zone. So, if that's the case, why is there... what? Okay, it's a Blue 4 guy on it. It's just a symbolism glitch. If that's only a 1 point victory then because they just rushed it, that means that basically whoever controls the purple zones by the end of the match is going to win regardless. So not as much of an uphill battle for Blue 4, but we'll see. But yeah, Green Thumb is on an Op 4 kill. There's only been 1 KIA, but it looks like that was just an AI in the field. So Blue 4 haven't lost anyone yet. Meanwhile, OPFOR have lost 5 people. I'm not including myself because I respawned. And technically a 6th if you call El Presidente getting out of the AO by 1 point. So now this is just going to be a fight to see who can control the final 2 zones. So Blue 4, oh, they've got plenty of time to do this, but we'll just have to see how things go. Anyway, I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be back in a minute. Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Hi.
Officer Burger, thanks for 7-month reset, broski. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. I didn't see any bullets come out. Like, where did those go? He was shooting at these 3 OPFOR guys out in the open. The funny thing is, this is just going to keep the Blue 4 group pinned, but at the same time, they need to stay in place so that the rest of Blue 4 can come in. So, again, it's... that interaction is also a bit on the irrelevant side. Alright, so you do hear the shots coming overhead. And these 3 are just going to stay hunkered down. They were the guys doing Overwatch at Whiskey A and moved a little bit north. Now they just kind of need to fold in at this point. But yeah, they're essentially making a run for it. And you can see that OPFOR is now getting everything else into position here. This tank is really antsy if it's going to be pushing the 3-man group. Maybe they think OPFOR is about to do some sort of random massive counterattack to get El Presidente outside. But here's the deal. Blue 4 holds this position till the hour 15 mark. That only gives them 15 minutes to go to the other 2 positions, which is not enough time to make Blue 4 maneuver. So the only other possibility they could be doing is holding this position and only attacking the other spots with half of their convoys, basically half their entire force, which means Blue 4 is going to defeat themselves in detail, guaranteeing an OPFOR victory. Like, how can Blue 4 not put 2 and 2 together if there's an open hangar and an empty UAZ next to it? Like, I'm a little worried about Blue 4's logic here. And again, we got to give some credit where credit's due. Blue 4, they're up 5 kills. Not a single Blue 4 player has died yet. And Blue 4 started with the 4 or 5 player number advantage. So Blue 4 has like a solid 10 players above OPFOR right now. But if OPFOR are playing the objective and they're well positioned, I completely forgot OPFOR has a T-34 in play. So if we see a Blue 4 vehicle turn this corner, it's going to die. But that's weird. Is there a copy paste? So Dragon Hall, it's a feature built into the Arma 3 spectator interface, which I'm not 100% sure I can access from being a dead player with spectator. I think it's only for dedicated slots. But we basically have an SQF script. How do I dumb this down? We have a script we run with our mission files that basically enables it to be toggleable on or off through the Zeus interface, through my client specifically. So it's a file you put into your mission files, then you basically have to go in and edit that file to get the settings you want. But if you want it, just DM me on Discord. I can shoot it to you. Because you also have to then put a line of code in another file in your mission folder to activate it. Yeah, no, I called it. I told you guys in chat, Damien would be pissed off that Alexander woke up and killed him, and there he is in chat bitching about it. I called it. I would be pissed off too, Damien. You had no right to get killed there, in my opinion. You had him dead to rights. Oh, I called it. They're really burning a lot of ordnance for 3 dudes here. Like, that shows me that Blue 4 intentionally thinks Op 4 is going to try to counterattack the airfield and push El Presidente out. Blue 4 is having some really backwards logic, because why would Op 4 do that if they already had groups on position? Maybe they thought the group they fought here was one of the original squads held to defend it. Maybe they thought Op 4 wouldn't try to actually hold a position itself because Blue 4 would bulldoze. But again, why hold the airfield when you've gone through and destroyed all the aircraft? Why not move on to the final positions? At this point, it's moot to be here because El Presidente isn't going to be able to get away. And I'd imagine he was probably banned from just driving out here into the red zone anyway in the spirit of the game. So why hold here? There's no point. Op 4's objectives with Blue 4's are whoever controls either of these zones, it's 10 points per, so 2 points for the, why did I say 10? 2 points for the radio station, 2 points for the villa. Blue 4 gets 4 points for killing El Presidente before the hour 15 mark. El Presidente gets a single point for getting him to the red zone at the hour 15 mark. And there's a survival bonus of if you have 8 or more people alive on your side, you gain an additional 2 points. So really the meat of the objective is these positions here. Blue 4 have destroyed all the planes, all the means for El Presidente to escape. So why continue to hold here? The only thing I can think of is they're waiting for the rest of Blue 4 to stage off on a different flank, but it's... I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of logically, because there's too many other factors here to tell Blue 4 that El Presidente has already escaped, or Op 4 has no intention of going for the airfield anyway. Yes, there's been some minor skirmishes, but if Op 4 was serious, there would be a bigger hold, you know? This will be interesting. So we've got a Blue 4 force coming up. They do have a single AT4 and a single AT4. Nope, they got 2 AT4s. And they might be spotting some of the Op 4 moving through on the road there. That's elements of Victor. What they don't realize is there's a T-34. I'm a little concerned that the 34 isn't in a position to be covered by infantry. But then again, with these Humvees coming up, if they push past the corner, 34 is going to annihilate them. And if Blue 4 start their engagement from afar, that's going to just alert the T-34. Weird. Oh, damn, Ghost Wolf. Well, good luck, man. Let me know how that goes. I'm assuming these are 50 cal Humvees or a 50 cal and a Mark 19 Humvee. Those would be my guesses. Oh, nope, I was wrong. A 50 cal and an unarmed Humvee for transport. Then we've got 2 additional Humvees back here. That would be another 50 cal and transport. So these are just 2 rifle squads working. So an M113 and the M60A3 have spotted some of the Op 4 infantry down here and started suppressing them. That's going to just make them fold deeper into the tree line here. Here's what also kind of worries me. Op 4 do have a really spaced out defense here. So if Blue 4 just pushed in with their main assets on an already weakened area, because you got to remember, Victor or Whiskey has to hold this entire line, but they're only at about half strength. So I feel like Blue 4 could actually just pierce through and get right into the objectives. Op 4 responds with a pincer attack on the north and south, but Blue 4 might just have enough tonnage to stop it. Or just a weight in assets, at least. Why'd I call it tonnage? Pierce through. Shut up, Zony. I mean, I think Pierce is on Blue 4, yeah. So just, we'll get Pierce an open field to run through, right? You can't see me winking, but we got you, fam. I want to see if OFCRA gets eyes on that smoke grenade. I think it's going to be a little too far into the forest for them. That is funny. And Blue 4 just going to rush through with Overwatch support from the tank. They take AT fire and immediately have to smoke it. And the engine's been disabled. And the driver appears to have been knocked out from it. Another AT round coming in. That, I believe, is from a Super Bazooka. Yep. So Blue 4 unable to rush past. That gets part of Foxtrot killed. They're firing an HE round into there now, but now they're taking some of the ire from the tank. T-34 just responded, and it looks like a Humvee pushed through and was taken out, and now Blue 4 having some pretty massive casualties here. This Blue 4 infantry group might have heard that cannon fire. They could push it. But maybe not. This is going to be quite a shock for Blue 4. OFCRA, I thought their spread out would be too thin, but Blue 4 just aren't covering their flanks as they're moving in. They're not doing enough to suppress. I feel like Blue 4 are too spread out to really be in a position to support on pushing a single position, which you would think Blue 4's main goal is to get into this area, so they're coming from that side, they're coming from this side, but this side never checked their flank fully. This side didn't have enough support to properly suppress that area. And do they really need to go through this open area when they could just be pushing infantry around and then crossing through there and then taking that area, securing all this to then let their armored vehicles come around in this spot and repeat the process? I feel like some areas are rushing ahead of others in the coordination here, and that's what's really costing Blue 4 at the moment. So we have a 50 cal Humvee down, we've got an M2M113 down. Still only light stuff compared to what we've got going for everything, but I don't know, it's a tough call. Spaghetti or penny for dinner? Ooh, Razor. I'm probably gonna go with spaghetti tonight myself, but we'll see, buddy. Alright, so it looks like the T-34 was finally spotted and taken out by the M60. I'm not surprised with that one bit. Marcus gets knocked out as he tries to run, and Lewis also gets knocked out. And double tap, more shots going in. So T-34, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting that to really do that much. I'm kind of impressed it got a single Humvee kill anyway. But we've got vehicles now rushing up to it. Victor's in a really tough spot here for OFCRA, because I'm not sure they have any AT, and yet they were trusted with overwatching an open field. So I think their only goal is going to be to kill infantry dismounts, but what are the odds that Charlie here is going to dismount right in front of... And I think one of them just got headshot. Yeah, the gunner just got headshotted, and Pierce is dismounting his forces in an open area. Oh boy. Ryder, if he's got some grenades... Ryder's suppressed? And Ryder's dead! Because an LAV came up and blew him away! At least we're seeing some LAV coverage now. That was Mac Marine and Lolo driving up and shooting people. And they're keeping mobile here because they know a Super Bazooka will hit them if they slow down. And as I say that, Super Bazooka potentially hit their rear. Yep, they're partially damaged. You can see where it hit them on that little black spot right there. But again, that's the APC portion, so it's minimal damage. Bravo now trying to push up. Was Ryder their only suppressed shooter? Yeah, no, they've got a sniper right here with a freaking bolt action Springfield. Best they can do is hide and then throw grenades when the time arises. And then we got Whiskey folding in over here. I don't know why. We got some more blind suppressive fire coming out. Uniform's not pushing around. They could flank some of Blue 4. Another super bazooka round comes out. Potentially have some knockouts coming up from down there. More AT firing and knocking out this 113. I don't know why they drive it up next to another position that got AT'd previously. Another round goes out. And I think that knocks out Vincenzo as he's trying to get out. Blue 4 having a pretty tough time here. We see small ranging shots going out. So fun fact about the SMAW, it has a 9mm little tube that helps it basically spot where the rounds are going to go. It's right there. And then that with the tracer basically allows them to see where the rocket trajectory is going to go. And he manages to put that rocket a little over. I think they're firing in here to try to potentially get these marksmen to wave off and stop engaging the Blue 4 up there. I'm waiting to see when OPFOR decides to push in and counter this area. LAV's pulled away. You've got these guys slowly moving in now. Gaydon doesn't really have the best weapon to do this, but if OPFOR realizes that they're all just kind of prone... Oh, they're dealing with the Maskaz. Samuel, I don't know why he didn't open with a grenade there. That was a mistake. Now they got a 50 cal firing up at him. That knocks out Gaydon. Not much of a loss there, though. Another guy gets taken out. It's just up to Kyle. Again, I really do not understand why Samuel didn't open up with a nade. That just shows me he was either out of nades or he just didn't think of it. But a nade in that Maskaz would have been perfect. Meanwhile, you got Pi pushing Blue 4 here. Manages to knock Pingus out. We got more down Blue 4 here. So much for that mask going for you. Pi needs to double tap Pingus. Because otherwise, we've already seen Blue 4 wake up and double tap. What did I just say? Wait a minute. Twig King saves Pi! What the hell was that level of Hollywood bullshit? That was great. 50 cals firing in. Looks like a BRDM pushed up and immediately got schwacked by the tank. That M60 is raining hell. Adi on 3 kills, an armor kill. The tank technically, the 34 didn't get destroyed, so it doesn't technically count as an armor kill, but that is his second vehicle kill for the day. Literally Hollywood levels of bullshit. I love it. Waiting to see. Okay, Gaydon got back up. Kyle was a medic. That's why he was able to do it. But it looks like Blue 4 are just mounting up most of their forces right here, realizing they're going to constantly get harassed. Blue 4 over here, though. We got OPFOR getting right on top of them. Shay leading. Minobi spots Shay. Shay, I think, noticed. Yep, goes guns up. Minobi trying to get around the tree instead. And Blue 4 now mobile. Wombat a little bit lower. He is also suppressed. Again, open with the grenade. Open with the damn nade. Please. It's much more effective than you think. You got this guy, I think, firing down at the Blue 4 down here. Swola opening up, gets some hits on Rick, but is unable to deliver the killing blow. Marksman returning fire as Swola hunkers down. I heard a grenade go off up here. Wombat now engaging. Shay also engaging. These Blue 4 kind of caught in the open here. Why is the Op 4 medic all the way up here? Yeah, now grenades are going, but when Blue 4 is diving to cover, it doesn't really help out. Blue 4 hasn't really pinned down where Swola is. Swola getting caught in the tree a bit. He's now hugging that. NASA coming around. He knocked Duetson out, but Duetson could still wake back up. NASA going to be charging forward. Shay now coming around on the northern side. I'm curious if we're going to see Wombat coming. He's the one with the suppressed weapon. If he can get closer. He gets Minobi. What's worrying me right now is Blue 4 is running out of infantry. And the reason for that is Op 4 is getting some really good ambushes in, and Blue 4 just can't seem to find a way to penetrate into this area here. Places that they think are clear and in the backline are just getting hit by other Op 4 elements. And Blue 4 is just kind of winning the fighting out, losing the fights here, as Op 4 just beat him out in said ambushes. Shay gets knocked out. He tries to fold back. Oh, but he gets headshotted as he's trying to adjust himself. And Amaterati gets picked off immediately after. We have an LAV taking some AT fire. It's trying to push. And then the other LAVs help deploy some forces around here. They're going to completely circumvent the Op 4 line. NASA taking some suppressive fire from, I believe, the M60. He smokes himself. Wombat on con after getting 2 kills. Hiccups, excuse me, but he wakes back up. I heard something cook off. I just can't hear. Ah, here we are. Blue 4 sniped the other BRDM. That was quite possibly the LAV. Yep, second vehicle kill recorded. Again, those LAVs are very, very powerful. So we just had a good chunk of Blue 4 guys get picked off right here. And that's because the tank just friendly fired and killed them with the commander turret. That's amazing. So they just annihilated the Blue 4 guys here. Azenor got knocked out. His 2 guys on his immediate flanks got knocked out. NASA finding angles to engage the rest of Blue 4 here. That is quite unfortunate. Rick, I think, was knocked out with that, and Stod joins him in death. That entire Blue 4 group's getting wiped, and you got Kyle and Gaydon on the forefront here. With a lot of Blue 4 infantry just kind of hunkering down. I think Diego spotted Gaydon. He just doesn't trust his eyes there because he was looking right at him through the scope. He might have thought it was a body. We just heard another AT round go off. And that was because the LAV decided to blindly charge in and die. So, I don't know why they did that, but cool. They were trying to get potential with the other LAV, but that was a massive break in the comms, and we're finally seeing one of the BMDs getting into position. That, with its ATGM launcher, could actually disable the M60A3 if they get a good angle on it. But Blue 4 up here has been more or less wiped. Manco has been knocked out based off the angle, though I can't tell if it was friendly fire by Rixu again. Or what. AT was fired on the 2 remaining infiltrators position. Gaiden getting knocked out again, and Kyle somehow being the only survivor just running for it. The funny thing about Blue 4 is they're going to be able to get a team in one of the objectives. And then you got this large Blue 4 group over here as well. I still think it's anyone's game. Because Blue 4, they have lost a good chunk of infantry, but they still have a big chunk back here. You got to remember, based off of how the first parts of the AO started, Blue 4 was up 5 kills, and they started with a number advantage anyway, so they were up 10 bodies. So the fact they're losing those people now is just equating everything. Kyle's panic running, and that might cost him his life in a second. We just had the other final Blue 4 guy die up here. Man is still unconscious. Eric Kiru pushed up, and he is also uncon because there's now just a tank watching as Op 4 poke their heads out. What I'm curious, though, is Op 4 trickling back in. They hear the LAV at this point, so I want to see if Op 4 potentially tries to pull back and assist. And I honestly think Blue 4 just drove through the jungle here and went through that gap in Op 4's lines and came right in. Because you're supposed to have Papa doing this internal line of defense, but I think they pushed up to reinforce Quebec. I don't know if they just watched them run through, but they're going to watch this next group of Blue 4 run in. Now you're about to see a massive chunk of Op 4 turn around and actually go for point security here, if these guys radioed it in. And we might be seeing this position breaking down to come and reinforce. Oh! Stifu's dead before his knees even hit the damn ground. If Op 4 wasn't turning around to come back here, now they will be. Twig he's stolen a 5.56 rifle. He's gotten his 3rd kill. Not sure if that was up there just now. But yeah, now all of Op 4 is starting to turn around. The other guy gets killed off. BMD's coming around with a full squad. Oh, man. So yeah, Op 4, the squad right here is going to be able to do much because the M60 is going to lock him down. You got the other BMD coming around with the reservist team coming in. But we'll see if they get picked off early. But if that M60 goes down, these infantry are just going to be boxed in there for the rest of the game. Op 4 going to be deploying a squad to retake that position. AT4s are prepped here. AT was just fired at the tank. They're going to push right into the BMD-1. He's getting on the ATGM. Gun is quickly turning. They missed! They missed! You missed! You freaking missed! Oh, I missed. It's the intention that counts. You're right. Oh. Hey, nerves and panic get you, Owl, man, and that's the case there. Oh, Skeeta. Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of dead for that one, buddy. Yeah. Anyway. Ay, ay, ay. OPFOR have a massive group coming around. What happened to the BMD? Was the other BMD picked off? I can't tell because they don't have individual crews. They've dismounted. Oh, they died. Ha! Even funnier. Tank now pushing in again. Has to be partially damaged. The AKS-74U could not save him that time. Yeah. Unfortunately, M60A3s are known for beating out the AKS-74U in almost every category. Because one is, you know, the most powerful submachine gun in the world, and the other is it's a tank. They could potentially repair the BMD in that fight, but there's just way too much stuff in the way. Now, the real tough call is how is Blue 4 going to get their main force into the objective, and how is OPFOR going to get this small little pity force out of the objective? We still have 28 minutes to go, give or take. It's been a while since I've seen this many people alive in the late game, that's for sure. I have no idea, dwarves. And you would think OPFOR would be running low on AT as well, but I think they had a dedicated medium anti-tank team that disabled a good chunk of Blue 4's stuff. But again, we'll just have to see how the rest of the game plays out. Blue 4 could still have plenty more AT. Diego's been knocked out. Panzai doesn't really realize where things are coming from, and he drops a SMA. OPFOR could take that and use that against the tank. We'll see if OPFOR comes up and double taps Diego here, but OPFOR turning forces around. We got more infantry now pushing up. And the rest of these guys are now trying to pull away. Might spot these forces around here. I'm curious. Depso's still alive. Ilbenek's obviously still alive. I'm not even going to read that out loud. Oddball as HQ has died, though. He died in this little position. Looks like he got sniped off earlier by OPFOR. So basically, Blue 4's kind of stuck to fend for themselves here with no command element. So that's probably why we're seeing a lot of stuff dragging their feet. More AT was just fired into the M60. But you can see it has minimal effect. I think they were coming up to assist this infantry here. Bro, he's shooting at Swollen. Swollen does not give a damn. Looks like he's crippled. Finish him. Killer, killer, finish him. Killer, finish him. Okay, okay, maybe he doesn't hear me. Killer! There we go. 4th time's the charm. The M60, I believe, is from 3CB Factions. I think Everett's in here, he can tell you. Well, now you do, buddy. Diego still on con over here. You've got some suppressive fire coming out. Firing all the way up there. Funny, OPFOR was a full squad right here, but they've had a few people get wiped, and now they're just kind of crippled in that tree line. Blue 4 still at full strength. Mac Marine kind of watching the flank from over here. Look at this man. He is on 7 infantry kills, 2 car kills, and 2 armored kills. That's quite a bit. If he can keep that kill streak going, he is definitely going to be the reason why Blue 4 can at least hold the Villa position. But look at all the OPFOR starting to come out and fold into the final objective area. More AT firing onto this tank. Watts moved up. Looks like he got knocked out by Wombat. Wombat, I think, got knocked out by the M60. Henry doing his best to suppress Turbolt here. Snoop was picking the SMA up. Pi prepping an AT4. Tank driving up as it tries to get away. Pi's got a beautiful shot. Hits the front of it. And... ah, right. Pi forgot that this is a tank. And you see, a tank is really heavy. And a tank can just, well, use that weight to crush you. Yeah. Pi kind of forgot about that, and unfortunately it cost him his life. But regardless, we'll see how things go. We'll see if the tank decides to continue its rampage. Rixu's gotten a few kills because he was on -2. Let's see if he can keep it going. Blue 4 trying to mount up in some of their vehicles. I think they're just going to go for a vehicle rush at this point because they don't really have any other card or play to make. Mac Marine's still watching from the other side. Op 4 could have found Oddball's body, so they know that Blue 4 command has been killed. Oh! And the tank spots more people, and Kyle finally gets picked off and dies. Timek finds the marksman rifle and starts shooting. I just want to see the tank just drive through. There it is. Timek lives to fight another day. Op 4 now coming in with that massive force. Can the LAV stop it? If they take one more AT hit, that LAV is going to go up in smoke. We got to see if Op 4 even has any AT remaining. We got some RPG 25s. We do have, no, there's our RPG 26s, I believe. But we also have plenty. No, they're RPG 75s because it's the Green 4 launcher with the little tape thing on the top of the turret that Green 4 used. My bad. But we also still see some Super Bazookas in play. It's just, do they have any ammo? And can the LAV do anything from its position? These guys are now pulling back. Op 4 pushing. Killer running around. I don't know why Timek had his hands out, but I guess Killer decided not to take any hostages and kills him. Awesome. That happened anyway. Blue 4 pushing some of their Humvees around, dismounting behind where the Op 4 forces pushed in. And they're still trying to regroup roughly. Blue 4, meanwhile, counter-attacking this Op 4 position. I don't know why Snowbus doesn't have his gun out. That's a flashbang. That was... Alright, Pierce, I'll give it to you. That was pretty badass, not gonna lie. Anyway, LAV now driving around. We just heard an AT shot, but that LAV's still kicking. Oh boy. 20 minutes left. Blue 4 pushing this area. And The LAV is finally destroyed, I think, by AT in this far corner here. Sounded like a single-shot disposable, actually. That might have been Rigel. No. Alright, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what got him. So it's just up to those 4 Blue 4 defenders as the rest of Blue 4 still inching their way in, but it's not quick enough. Alexander on kill number 4. Gregory, I think, just got the kill on the one guy up there. Seismo does have a 249, though. OFCRA smoking this hallway for their advance. And the November group that pushed in are now reforming the defensive line to stop Blue 4 Cura from coming in. M60 also coming in. And how did you just die? What? Oh, he traded with the guy over here. Okay, I didn't see him. That's a shame that they traded like that, though. M60 driving back in. AT fires and it misses. That's okay. The tank didn't notice. Honestly, the tank is 1 or 2 shots away from dying, but I'm not sure if OFCRA has anything other than single-shot AT to utilize. Both the infantry's M60 and the M60A3 tank are from 3CB factions, fun fact. So yeah, Blue 4, I think they're outnumbered 2-1 at this point, but they still have the tank. And it looks like that was NASA and Ash getting that tank kill. Ash does have the armor kill, just hasn't dropped the AT4 yet. And rest in peace, the tank. Morgan is uncon. He's also an AI, so I think he just rage quit. It's up to Alexander, who's gotten 4 kills already, to kind of come back here. But we do have Blue 4 reinforcements starting to trickle in. They've also captured an OPFOR MTLB, and they're pushing up with that. Depso, who's OPFOR command, I think is trying to reroute his forces here. He's crippled right now, and he gets a headshot. Kevin, with the suppression, manages to get the kill there. Might have also been Ezio, though, but looks like Kevin has the official kill. You still did well, Mac Marine, compared to other armored assets, and at least you weren't running over the infantry. You're actually killing them off like the damn tank. So yeah, El Dictator goes to Cuba, 15 minutes left on the board. With this OPFOR force coming around on the rear, unless we see some really heavy hitters step up in Blue 4, I don't see it. And then you still have this group all the way back here. Oh, it's Pierce's team, that's why. Maybe they'll make it by the 5-minute mark. Well, I would say, Mac, you guys were the most effective asset. The tank also did a decent job, but it also friendly fired a bunch of dudes and started running over OFCRA infantry, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get banned for that, but... yeah. Always fun how that goes. Pogo is dead. Okay. Well, I thought Pogo underscore would have a chance to, you know, turn the tide here because he is a really good player, but I guess not. Twig King on 4 kills. Hearing that 113 going by. Is he going to intercept Pierce? Has that been his plan this entire time? Funny enough, Ilbenek is coming back. El Presidente back from Cuba. I think he's going to try to see if his UAZ is still here and try to drive back into the objectives. And sure enough, it is. OPFOR needs all hands on deck. Yeah, El Presidente got scored in. And it was 1 point for OPFOR. So yeah, OPFOR, they've gone from 6 to 3 people over here, but Blue 4 turned around, kind of evenly trading out. Alexander doing his best to maneuver around, but he's fighting defensive positions here. He does he have the GL? I think I already gotten this wrong. Yeah, he does not, but he's going to smoke and try to advance here. Some well-placed grenades can turn the tide, but Ghost Wolf, have a good one, buddy. People are doing their best to try to push in on Blue 4's side, but they're not getting much done. Twig, though, kills Rizbo. And Jack is also on con. It's only Flip for Flap still up. Pierce coming in, 10 minutes left. Twig doing some blind suppression and gets that kill as well. Will Jack wake back up? Unlikely, there's been a lot of shots. Out of curiosity, what was that timer, Mac? Because, no, he literally rushed in and flew off, and he was out of the airfield by the 7.5 minute mark. Twig still trying to play one-man war here. OPFOR getting on the rock on his left. Yeah, because smoke decal affects our client side, so they're not going to be 100% accurate for everyone involved, which is unfortunate. Looks like Pierce's guys are checking out the assets here. 12 Stripe is sneaking into this AO, and none of the OPFOR are questioning him. Hold up. Yilmis, I only do the early branch. They stopped calling themselves EU and NA a while ago. Twig finds and double taps Jack for 7 kills. And Blue 4, I think, are just rushing ahead right here. AT is immediately fired into the 113. No one on the left side rocks here. They're just kind of holding back instead. Southern position could be taken by Blue 4 in the next few minutes, but the northern position won't. How many players does Blue 4 still have left alive? 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so Blue 4 aren't going to get the survivor bonus. OPFOR, though, I mean, we've got 5, 10, 20 OPFOR alive, so very likely they're going to be able to keep their bonus. Unless we see Alexander walk up and start getting some massive multi-kills here. Let's go. I do remember seeing some 113s getting entirely wiped, so I'm going to say yes, but tentative because I don't entirely remember. Settler suppressing with that 249 that he found. It's a good gun. Got some random return fire as well, and I think OPFOR realized that that one, excuse me, MTLB was driven by a Blue 4 guy, and they finally blew it up. Zix me. I think just timed a grenade right on top of that Blue 4 player and then followed up with some bullets. Good call there. Kevin's uncon out here. I think this is going to be GG. Gregory finds Alexander and takes him out. There's 7.5 minutes left on the board here. Damn. Final score is probably going to be a perfect score for OPFOR, which is 7 points, and Blue 4 getting nothing. We could still see Blue 4 take this one position, though. That's going to shift it to, I think, 5-2. Still well within OPFOR's favor, though. That's only if we see OPFOR lose a guy or Blue 4 bring another guy into the villa, but they still have little under 7 minutes to do it. But yeah, Northern Garrison completely held. Southern Garrison is struggling. Settler, I think, trying to pop smoke so he can then push with his 249. Henry back here. I think he's uncon, though. Yep. And then T slowly maneuvering in. You never want to be too close to a rock, because if you go prone and you put your weapon up, if people are looking in your direction, even with tall grass, your weapon's going to poke over the grass and you're going to be easily spotted. NT Buddy, thanks for the 49-person raid. What were you playing, man? This round is almost over. Settler spots Fonz, and I think just got a knockout on... No, Fonz goes prone. He shifts his attention to T and tries to get him with that 249. Oh, cool. Sounds good, NT. Hey, man, I'm glad to see your numbers have been going more and more up over the past few months, man. Congrats. Fonz gets knocked out. And OPFOR sending more reinforcements to the villa area. We got 3 people on. Twig King coming around on his 7 kills. I mean, I think this is over. Blue 4 not even going to get points on the board at this rate. T trying to come around. Could drop Twig here. Gets it. Gregory immediately suppressing through the bushes and gets that kill, but that's it. Pierce is uncon. Callie's uncon. And Henry's uncon. And El Presidente's come back, stolen an M16, and he's just vibing, man. The remaining Blue 4 all uncon. It's over. GG to OPFOR. You gotta remember, when you're playing OFCRA, even if your entire side gets wiped, it's by the points, but OPFOR is going to get 2 points per objective here, so that's 4 points. They got El Presidente in the red zone by the hour 15 mark. That's an additional point, and there's still at least 8 OPFOR survivors, so that's another 2 points. So that's going to be 7-0. That is it. Alright guys, we'll be back in 3 hours for some Pog Zeusing. They're going to be having to attack a single position to find some intel that shows them where a bunch of mortar positions are. Then they have to capture those mortars and bring them back, and every mortar they bring back gets them a point. I think there's going to be like 6 or 7 different positions, and each position has anywhere from 2 to 4 mortars. But otherwise, yeah, that is it. Waiting to see if a mod pays the prediction out, but we're seeing the other 2 guys bleed out, but that is pretty much it. Nonetheless, dev will be later when I can, Dwarves, but let me go ahead and pay the prediction out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll be back in 3 hours. NT, thank you for the raid again, buddy. But otherwise, cheers, guys. Have a good one. I'm assuming they just ended it. Yep. 10 points. I couldn't tell if it was 1 or that, but whatever. Anyway, cheers, guys. Have a good one. Go operate operationally. Glory to El Presidente.